Wow, so guys, welcome to JTech web design course for beginners. This is the first lesson, and the title of this lesson is basic HTML. So in this course, in this very lesson, I'm going to give you the basic introduction to HTML. I am Santiago Jose, and I'm going to be your tutor as usual. So if you've not watched the first video, I will advise you to go back to the YouTube channel and watch the introductory video. That was the first one we did something like last week. The first one we did, so it's the preliminary to this one, or prerequisite to this one, because a lot of things I explained there I'm not going to be explaining here. So here we're going to go straight to business. Now this is the lesson one outline. First we're going to talk about software installations, then we're going to install Notepad. I'll show you how to install Notepad and how to install Atom, because these are the two softwares we're going to be using in this tutorial. And then introduction to HTML, we're going to talk about tags, we'll talk headings, and also discuss paragraphs, and then text formatting, last but not the least. So let's get started in it. Okay, this is my desktop right now. This is my computer's desktop. So I will go to my browser and download the software. So once you come to your browser, you have to, if you want to download Atom, you have to click on, if you want to download Notepad, you have to click on www.notepad++. Okay, notepad++.org. So when you click on Notepad++, you're going to see various versions of Notepad++. So you're going to click on the latest. If you want to download the latest, I love downloading the latest, so you get your download. Like for instance, this is 32-bit or x66, so you have to know your system requirements before you be able to download. So how to know your system requirements is very simple. You just go to File Explorer, then you're going to go to this PC, then check properties. So you're going to check properties to know if your system is 32-bit or 64-bit. Like, see, my system is 64-bit, my RAM is 4 gig, and so this is my PC, Joseph's PC, Santiago's PC. So it's 64 base processor, and we have 86 here. So this one here is not compatible for my system. So this one here is for 86 and mine is 64 base system. So we have to look for the one that is x64. I can actually download this one. Here, and it worked perfectly, but not really perfectly. Sometimes it might just have issue developing. So it's best to download the one that is most suitable for your type of system. But if you don't have it, you can let's do with anyone. Then we can also go to Atom. Then you just type www.atom.io, and then you click on download. I'm not downloading anything, so you can see your Windows type. I'm using 64-bit Windows 7 or later. So for you to use Atom, you must have a 64-bit. So as you can see, I'm using 64-bit. My Windows is Windows 10. Okay, so if you Windows 10 is Pro. I'm using Windows 10 Pro. So Windows 10 is applicable, Windows 7 is applicable, but you can use this on Windows XP, and it has to be 64. If it's 34-bit, 32 bits, it won't work. So you have to check this bit. You can actually upgrade from 32 to 64. So it's your engineers will do that for you. Okay, so let's close this. And then if any of this one won't work for you, you can use the follow com notepad, like we'll talk about it in the first video. So you can get your notepad if you go to all your programs. Depends on the window you're using. I'm using Windows 10, but this is basically where you're going to get your notepad. So because I've been using my notepad a lot, it's up here. So this notepad, it looks very boring here, but it's very good and it can really serve you. So it's a very good powerful word editor. You can create any kind of website with this one. So like using these HTML tags, and then you can create very stunning websites here. Okay, so it's very good one. So you can just basically use anything here and do the design and do the coding. It can code anything that you want. So I'll just open and close here. Okay, so now so we're not going to save this one. So after you've downloaded your Notepad++ or your Atom, you just need to click on let's install Notepad first. Once you download, yeah, I don't know the browser you're using, but I'm using Chrome, so I see it down here. If you're using Firefox, you see it at the top. So I'm using Chrome, so all my downloads are down here, but if you're using Firefox, you should see it at the top here. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to install my Notepad++, so I'm going to click on yes. Now English, you select the language you want. If you want Spanish, if you want la Francais, if any of these languages you want. So because we are making a tutorial in English, we install English. The one I'm using for my design my website with is in Spanish. So we have to click next, then we agree to the license. You just have to agree to everything. The license are much, so it's especially that you've read and understood it. So I have not read, but I said I've read and understood. There's really no time for that. So if you want to create a shortcut on your desktop, it's good to use this. So I'm going to create a shortcut on my desktop. Okay, so it's very easy to install the Notepad because I told you it's very light, so it's very easy to install it. So we finished and our notepad is here. So you can notice the difference between this notepad and the previous notepad. They look similar, okay, but they're actually different. Let's arrange them side by side. Let's close this window. If I start typing, I start typing our HTML code, you will see the difference here, and then see here is the same thing that there we have the same thing here. So let's say I open here and close here. So this is the closing symbol and this is the opening symbol. So it's just see the appearances of this text, and then this one have more functions. Like you can see the windows here with Notepad++ have more functions. So these added advantages and added stuffs here. So you can even use this plugin and settings. So you can go to settings and then set preferences. You can change the colors and etc. So icon big or small or standard icon, document list panel, so you can show a lot of things. So multi-line something whatever and etc. So you can just change the settings to suit you. So you can even change. So I'm not really going to change much of these settings. We're going to use them as default, so it's not going to be really difficult for you to understand.